I agree with her 90% on this one. I think that when a man is dating with intent, especially for marriage and a serious, deep, committed relationship, he should bear the brunt of the bill.
So I want to stop right here, though, and I want to talk about, like I said earlier, the fiduciary politics of men and women when they are dating each other, okay? I believe that there are three schools of thought. The first school of thought is men pay for everything. Women should never go in their wallet. Men have to prove that they're the providers. They need to earn, so much over what a woman earns, and that's it. And to support this particular belief or this particular category, I present to you all Exhibit A.
Okay, let me stop right there. I agree with her 90% on this one. I think that when a man is dating with intent, especially for marriage and a serious, deep, committed relationship, he should bear the brunt of the bill. The reason being is you're trying to bring her into your life to get on your program. So you should bear the fiduciary responsibility of courting the woman. I don't believe in the equality of the date, like 50-50 dates. You should pay one date, she should pay a second date. I only believe that is viable when you're in a deep relationship. But in the initial stage of courting and dating, you should foot the bill. Now, it should be in line with your income and what you can afford. It shouldn't be exorbitant and just flying her out for dates on top of Trump Tower. No, but it has to be you foot the bill because you want to get her into your life on your program. And so you have to present her with the option to understand that you can take care of her in a proper context. That don't mean you're paying her bills right now, but you do have financial stability where you can manage a relationship, financially. So I agree with her on that. I don't think I have anything to disagree with Stephanie on this one. By the way, her little fans, I do know her name is Stephanie. I only call her Stephco because that's her channel moniker, and I was just showing her respect. I am aware that her name is Stephanie. Talking to you, Steven. Let's jump back in.
TikTok. So I have the music turned off here because, of course, there is a copyright situation. But you can see the text on the screen. Text on the screen says, this is the young girl. She's texting a guy. He's like, I want to see you. She says, well, I'm at work today. I can't see you. And he says, take the day off. She says, I can't. He sends her $2,000. I actually commented on this TikTok, and so if you know my little TikTok handle and you go and see the TikTok, you can find my comment. And in fact, it was liked by a lot of people. And the reason why I commented was because her caption was like, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. And I think that there is this belief or this stereotype about women that the only reason why a lot of times we're not receiving the treatment that we want is because we just don't want to receive it. And when I left...
All right, I'm going to start right there. I don't think... What she's saying, yeah, I agree with what she's saying. The young lady said those that get it, and those that don't. I see what she's saying with that. The expectation is that if you don't look a certain way, if you don't have that bad B mentality, you don't understand this lifestyle, which is true. Most average women cannot have a guy pay them to take a day off. That's true. Most average women don't understand a woman who can have a guy pay her to stay off for the day and not go to work. But then look how she looks. She's not an average looking woman. So a lot of men who want a woman that looks like that will pay for it. And I think that it's pretty disingenuous for a woman who looks that way to infer that average women who don't look like her just don't get it because they don't understand it. No, they understand it. They don't get it because they don't have the luxury of being able to have that pretty privilege. I agree with Steph on pretty privilege, by the way. And this woman has it, and she's showing it on this TikTok. Let's jump back in. Let's see what Stephanie has to say.
The comment, what I said was, the deal is a lot of women would like this. We get it.
Of course they would.
But there's not a lot of dudes out there who are willing to do something like this. That's just the truth. And
I'm going to stop. And I'm going to agree with Stephanie on that. She's right. The men who can afford to pay her to take the day off are very few and far between. These are the high echelon guys, the high value men, the guys of means that can afford to do these things. And most women do not have the capability of being in the circles with these men, or even the, and I hate to say it, the looks value to attract a guy like that to pay them to not work. So she's right. She's not saying anything wrong. Let's just see if she has the right follow through on this particular argument. Let's jump back in.
Commented to my comment, they were like, "Oh, you're just picking the wrong guys." And so to that I say this: when are we going to stop bullying people for having a tough time when it comes to dating? As many restrictions and issues that people run into when it comes to, politics on dating apps, when it comes to issues with, representation and availability within a certain society as far as partnership goes, there are all sorts of constraints that keep certain populations from finding the right partner, that keep certain people from finding the right partner. But
all right, let me stop right there real quick. Yes and no, I agree with her. Yes and no. There are a lot of politicking that goes on the social media apps or the dating apps. She's right on that. My only critique with what she said is this. I think a lot of this also has to do with your SMV, your sexual marketplace value. You're going to have a tougher time if you don't look a certain way. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm just saying that because this is the truth of the world. I'm not saying that to be mean or derogatory. Your sexual marketplace value matters. If you don't look a certain way, you're not going to be able to attain a certain lifestyle from the means of resources from a guy that's high value. So your looks matter. Should they matter in a perfect society? No, but we don't live in a perfect world. And most men are attracted to a female's appearance, her attractiveness. And if you are not that attractive, and if you don't have the looks that a particular guy wants, you're not going to be able to attain those guys. And quite frankly, your type isn't your type. Let's jump back in.
Somebody says, "Hey, I don't really see guys out here doing this kind of thing." People say, "Oh, just because you're not picking the right ones." Do we tell farmers who are in the middle of a famine that they don't have crops because they're just not picking the right ones? No, we admit, hey, the weather's bad right now.
Well, I'm going to stop right there. I don't agree with her with that analogy. Farmers doing a bad season has nothing to do with them not picking the right crops. You not picking the right guy has nothing to do with attaining a high value man. You just can't attain that guy because your looks don't line up with his resources, right? And that's just the truth of it. Your looks don't align with his resources. So it's not that you're, in a sense, you are picking the wrong guys. You're picking a guy and you're punching above your weight class when you're trying to attain guys of certain resources when your looks don't match his resources. A lot of you might not like that, but that's just the truth. Let's jump back in.
There's not a lot to choose from.
Yes, there are.
You gotta do the best with what you got. And to expand on that a little bit,
I agree with that.
I was reading my comments, and somebody commented on my last little storytime video, and they were like, "I don't understand you. You kissed this man, and he wasn't even interested in you. Didn't you learn anything from the other situation?" Here's the thing about me. I have never in this life been my type's type.
Bam. Stephco said it herself. Stephanie said it herself. She's never been her type's type. Punching above your weight class. This is a problem that a lot of average looking women have. They want the lifestyle of above average looking women, but their looks don't match the resources that will grant you access to that lifestyle. And that's just women being sold a fantasy through liberalism that looks don't matter. Through the fembots and the progressive women movements, that looks don't matter when they do. Your looks absolutely matter. And if you don't have the looks to match the resources, you won't be in a circle to live that lavish life that that luxury life that a lot of women want. And I'm just sorry, ladies. Life isn't fair. It's not fair for men. It's not fair for women. It's not fair for dogs. It's not fair for cats. It's not fair for anyone. But you have to make best of what you're giving and understand what you're given. And understand that life is meant to be hard. That's why it's called life, not easy. You're not going to always get what you want at 100%, but you have to work within the constraints of what you have and make the best of it. And I hate when women say settle, but that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to settle for what you can get based on your looks. Personality has no bearing on the dating market when it comes to SMV. Sorry. I mean, I don't think Stephanie is a bad looking woman at all. I think she's right there at average, and which is fine. Most men are average. I think I'm average. I don't think she is that bad looking. The only thing I think is wrong with Stephanie is she might have a little jaded attitude. She might be a little bitter. And I think that if she adjusts her attitude some, I think she'll fare better. And understand that you have to find someone else. I hate to say types. I just hate that word. But you have to find another type. Because if your type isn't your type, or I'm sorry, your type doesn't find you his type, then you're out in the market just aimlessly floating around hoping and wishing on a star that the guy that you actually are attracted to may find you attractive. And that's a bad recipe for disaster, I should say. Man, I can't talk today. But I don't have issues with Stephanie. I know a lot of you think from my past 2 videos that I do. I really don't. I just find YouTubers and I critique their content. And she's an interesting YouTuber, and I think she has a lot of things to say. I have watched a number of her videos, which is why I'm finishing this trilogy on a positive note, because I think she's not a bad person. I still think she's monetizing grief, bitterness, and emotion. I think she can be a dirty player at times, but I don't think that she's has nefarious means behind what she's doing other than telling her stories, making a little bit of money, and having a space for women who feel like her to have a voice. Only thing I ask y'all to do is to not trip us up on the way out the door to wherever you're going. If you have an issue with black men, I get it. There are some bad men out in the world. We can't police men. We can't police bad men. We can't police anyone, not women, not men, not children, unless they're the parents of those children. Only thing we can do is find people that align with our morals, our standards, and our values, and find like-minded people to be in relationships and marriages with. That's all we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this out, man. I'm gonna stop right here. On this one, I agree with Stephanie quite a bit. Found some common ground, and I think that going forward, I will be doing trilogies on particular content creators that I think are problematic, but I also will try to find common ground. All right, man, I'm done with my trilogy of Stephco videos. I've done 3, that's enough. I don't want her supporters to come over and just, tar and feather me because I keep making videos about her. Not that it matters, but I'm pretty much done. I wanted to end it on a positive note and find some common ground with Stephanie. And I think I did a pretty good job of finding a video where we could share some common ground. We all have critiques. We all have ways we see society, and we all have our own pathologies and ideologies. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with her producing content. This is a free society and she's able to say whatever she wants. That's not my problem. My problem is sometimes she has the tendency to be a bit of a dirty player and paint Batman in a light that we're just the only guys that perpetuate certain dysfunctionalities when we're not. And by the way, I do believe in colorism and I do believe in pretty privilege. I just don't think that it's such a big issue for average people that we all need to just constantly focus on colorism and pretty privilege. Most of us are average, and we're gonna be with average looking people. And that's just all it is. Look, we live in a world full of critique and judgment. Don't take it so harshly. People judge and critique my content all the time. I'm not crying in the comments. I just respond and I'll thank you for the engagement. That's all we can do at certain points. Just thank people for the engagement. Thank them for stopping by. Be respectful in the comments. Anyone who subscribed to my channel, if you want to go check out our content, be respectful. Don't go over there starting smoke, kicking up smoke, throwing shade. Just, watch her content. If you're a content creator, you want to make content off her particular content, that's fine. Just, be respectful. I would like to apologize for my first video. I wasn't calling her an itch, just be calling her that. That's just me being in the moment, but I don't typically go around calling people out of their names. So if any of her supporters or her subs had an issue with that first video, I'm big enough to give you an apology and I'll move on from it. So at the end of the day, everyone has a right to produce content, including myself. Y'all can get it cracking in my comments if you disagree with this video as well. I look forward to seeing you and I look forward to the engagement. Because at the end of the day, we all have opinions and we all can express them. All right, y'all know what to do. Like, share, hit the bell with all notifications on, subscribe to the channel. I'm still trying to reach that goal of 1K subs by the end of April, and it will help me out greatly if you guys engage with the content so I can become part of the YouTube algorithm. It helps to monetize the channel, and likes are free. So let me say this, at the end of the day, we're all adults and we all have responsibilities of our own faculties. right? So let's just get out of here, man, and let's say this: adults shouldn't have dreams but goals, because dreams can lie in the realm of fantasy, where goals can be attained through hard work, dedication, perseverance, and tangible evidence to show for your hustle. Man, y'all get it cracking in the comments. That's all I got. I'll see y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. We out.
Like Jesus.